Hello and welcome. My name is Jodi McGee and I'm a math teacher with Open Tent Academy, and I'm here today just to share a little bit about myself. For starters, I live in the beautiful state of Virginia with my husband of 22 years, our two children, our daughter who's 18, our son who's 15, my father-in-law, our three dogs, and our horses. I began pursuing my teaching degree at a small liberal arts college for women, where I received my bachelor's degree in mathematics with an educational certificate. Shortly after graduating, I became a public high school math teacher where I taught for several years. Then thereafter, I found my way into the visual basic programming field as a government contractor, but it didn't take me long to realize that just me and a computer in a room alone for an entire day wasn't for me, that I really wanted to be back in the classroom. So I went back into teaching, and then shortly thereafter, my husband and I decided to start a family, and we chose that I would be home with my daughter, which there was no other place I would have rather been. Being home with our kids, seeing them grow, seeing them learn, seeing that light bulb go on for the first time, it's awesome. So it didn't take me long to realize that homeschooling was also something that I wanted to do. Kind of tied all my passions together, that desire to want to be home with my child and my children, and my passion for teaching. And that's where homeschooling really fulfilled that need for me and that passion. Every day was a learning day. Watching my daughter take her first steps or say her first words. Watching my son while I was reading some questions to my daughter out loud, and he was 3 years old playing with his Matchbox cars, and he answered the question from across the room. I just love that moment. I love that light bulb moment. I love the interaction. I love the learning. So during our homeschool time, I also taught at our homeschool co-op. I taught physical education and some math games. And then my daughter came time for her to graduate. So before her graduation from our homeschool, I decided that there was a job I needed to do, and I started teaching math to other homeschoolers as well as after-school tutoring. And I do both of those, the homeschool teaching as well as the homeschool teaching to homeschoolers, as well as the after-school tutoring I do online. And I do them through a video conferencing program as well as a interactive virtual whiteboard. It's like simulating sitting down at the same table together. It's really quite cool what we're able to do, and it amazes me every day the advances that we've made in technology and how they have made a positive impact on the field of education. During my years as a teacher, you can imagine that the kids ask some pretty unusual questions. But one of my favorite, which you have probably heard before, is the students that asked, "When will I ever use this?" I just love that question. It's my favorite. My answer to that question is probably never, but that's not why they're taking math classes. So I start asking them questions. And at this point, you can imagine I get some pretty peculiar looks from these kids when I say probably not. But those questions I ask are like, do you play sports? Or do you play an instrument? And I can see a couple of them nodding their heads. And I said, well, do you practice? And now you can kind of see their wheels going. They're wondering, where in the world is she going with these questions? But then I finally ask, well, why do you practice? Usually my questions, and then they'll start to answer, well, you practice to get better at something, or you go to improve your strength or your reaction time. You prepare yourself for the big game. I'm like, exactly. Those are the same reasons why you're taking your math classes. You're taking them to strengthen your brain, which I lovingly call your math muscle. This is your math muscle. Your brain gets stronger through math practice. You become a better thinker, a better problem solver, all while you're preparing for the biggest game yet, and that's the game of life. So when a situation in your life arises and you need to find a resolution, you're ready. You're equipped with the critical and analytical problem solving, puzzle solving, thinking skills you developed in all your math classes. So I hope you'll give me the opportunity to help you strengthen your math muscle. Hope to see you soon.